So, in terms of maintenance, because as entrepreneurs, we have to be our own bosses. We have
Hmm.
to be the ones that establish the policies and the procedures. And also, we have to be the ones that keep ourselves sane and healthy,
Yeah.
um,
Yes.
and keep the work stabilized.
Hmm.
And when I mean that, I mean, how does one know? And what sort of practices do you have, or rituals that might be fun to share in terms of, your baseline of weekly, I make sure to do this, or with each project, I make sure to do this, or even, for me, voice upkeep, I make sure to do this with you. There's probably a lot of tech that's involved with what you do,
Hmm.
both in photography and body maintenance.
Yeah.
Um, and to give an example from my own work, the practice that I've had is twofold. I have a practice where on a monthly basis I learn a new celebrity voice or a new accent
Oh, nice.
that I'm doing. The method that I have for making sure that I can always, recall that accent and the different parameters of it is I memorize a rock song, and I say that accent to the lyrics.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Nice.
so I've got now about 90 songs, and then what I will do is I will each week I'll essentially globetrot, where I'll start down in South America. I'll work my way up through the voices and the songs of North America. Then I'll veer off into the United Kingdom. Then I'll go into Western Europe. Then I'll go into Eastern Europe. Then I'll go into Southeast Asia. I'll go then into Australia and New Zealand and Hawaii and such. So that by the end of the week, I'll do this when I'm driving or when I'm doing house chores. But people will, if they pass by me, they will hear me, doing Neil Young's Thrasher in, let's see, Ugandan, so they were hiding behind hay bales. They were planted in the full moon. They given all they had for something new. Okay. And then maybe I'll
Yeah.
be, on my walk and I'll be muttering, let's see, Fleetwood Mac's Dreams, and I'll be doing that in Western Canada. So, well, there you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play it as you feel it, but listen carefully to the sound. Um,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
every week I'll do that. But then also with authors who have serials, I will then do the same process with the lyrics, but I'll take their characters
Oh, wow.
through those lyrics. So I'll have the protagonist for one piece. Okay, let's take him through. Let's do the Elvis Costello. So strange we sing after so long, girl. Wait, look, I can tell you're not impressed. Allison, I know this world is killing you. Allison, my aim is true. And then I'll go with his wife. Everybody's talking, but no one says a word. Everybody's making love, but no one really cares. John Lennon's "Nobody Told Me There'd Be Days Like This" and stuff. So those are like my drills and my reps and my routines. What sort of things do you do, from photography, body maintenance? What sort of things? What do you do? What works for you?
Nothing is quite as that sounds like an amazing thing to do and something that's very beneficial for you. What I tend to do is, since you've brought up the both sides of things, the body maintenance and the tech, what I tend to try to do is marry a lot of these things together, just
Mm,
for simplicity.
yeah.
So the gym is obviously the go-to for the body maintenance thing, but that's kind of my release from the day-to-days and everything. So I do some stuff in the morning relative to that. I've got some equipment here at the house, and then I'll actually go to the gym in the evenings to kind of escape the office that's also my house. So it's kind of like I don't go stir crazy. But the gym is a nice escape for that in the evenings, and then I'll come back, relax, and just watch TV or something like that, just to kind of de-stress. But of course, we're working all the time, so when I get an inquiry for a photo at like 10 p.m., I'm like, up out of bed, let's go to the computer, let's see, it's never ending.
Yeah.
But as far as the design and the photography married to that, you had mentioned me taking my own photos for myself and for covers as well. What I tend to do there is practice a lot of editing techniques and a lot of actions in Photoshop, different styles, different things. And I always try to make things a little more efficient for me on my end as far as the editing process goes. It used to take me about 2 to 3 hours to do a composite for a book cover, where you take off the backdrop, replace it with a cityscape, put the model in different clothes, or change the hair color, eye color, except as needed. But I've gotten that down to about an hour, maybe less sometimes, depending on what the author needs. Just based upon learning new techniques, learning the software a little more, and then coming up with my own tools and stuff and steps along the way to kind of help that whole process go through. I can change hair and eye color now within a few seconds. It's great. So it eases up for me when an author is wanting something changed and adjusted, and what would normally have taken all day, half a day, now just takes a few minutes. I can get that to them and get it delivered quickly for them. I guess in romance you don't want to be known as quick and easy, but
sure,
it goes with the territory. You want to be known for that. So being able to deliver that fast is nice at the same quality level. I mean, when I first started doing that, it was a hack job. It was a mess, trying to edit that stuff. With streamlining the process and getting it down to where it looked decent and everything else, so I can get it to them in a reasonable time.
Well, isn't that fun too? Because even Robert De Niro, by the time the mid '80s hit, and Robert De Niro would in his early career would build characters up completely from scratch. But by the mid '80s, he was saying, I've been around enough, and I've got enough under my belt that I can repurpose certain methods and certain memories from previous jobs. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some of his most celebrated work came, past the mid '80s. And it's so funny that you mentioned that, because I also have developed a shorthand for characterizations. If I'm doing a new character for a new author, I'll recall, I've got like my cast, my stable of people that I work with, in my head. So in fact, sometimes with my self notes, a new author might not understand at all what I'm talking about in terms of, okay, this is essentially Jacob, but with a slight Alabama accent. They're like, they wouldn't know who Jacob is, but I know who Jacob is because I've worked with Chris Michaels, and one of her central protagonists is Jacob. So I'm like, okay, I've got the Jacob feel, but I'm going to give him a slight Southern, but not the regal Southern. Okay, we'll do that, but then also we'll add a touch of all that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, it's that's a joy as well, and sometimes
it really is.
Sometimes that repurposing will actually transcend and lead me into a completely new character that then I can put into my.
Absolutely, I've had that happen too on the tech side and the Photoshop side as well. It's you develop it, and you're able to lock it away and reuse it and repurpose it like that, and it makes it easier when you have to recall it down the road.